tuned to Sirius FM 105.7.
Yes, Sirius FM keeping your company this morning, and I can tell you, mashallah, really enjoying your company. Allah bless you now and forever. Yes, this time of the morning where Rafeek Hassen joins us, the president of IFRI, world-renowned scholar of comparative religion, and alhamdulillah, someone that is a go-to man for many people. But before I read the correspondence to you, Rafeek, let's talk about the passing away of Essam Mudir, someone that you and I knew very well, who was a top journalist, who was a firebrand also, and related to the deaths, Rafeek. Your thoughts on the passing away of Essam Mudir? Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi rajiun. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh to you, Rafeek. I think you should unmute yourself, because you muted. That's better, Rafeek. I can hear you now. Yes, your comments on the passing away of Essam Mudir, Rafeek.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Look, you used the right word, Brother Shafat. As a journalist, you journalists have to, that's why you are a journalist, because of the words you use. He was a firebrand. And, you can say a chip of the old block, being related by marriage. I think he married Sheikh Didat's granddaughter. And,
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And he had absolute love and admiration for Sheikh Ahmad Didat, for a Saudi, who really stood by him and would go out of his way to defend, Sheikh Didat and his legacy. And what more I liked about him is that he was, bold. I use the word, non-compromising, and, he couldn't care what others have to say. He stood his ground. So, yeah, sometimes you need people like this, I was just busy with a few things, reading up from yesterday till today. And they say one of the biggest tragedies of society is that people are just so complacent, and people are just, non-committant. They're not assertive. And then that's how they say, if you don't stand your ground, you'll be blown away by the wind. You don't stand up against the forces against you. And Essam Mudir was one who succumb and won't bow down to forces around him that he felt was, negative, or, trying to, bring negativity into the world. Or he even went to the point where he had his truth and he says, it's my truth and nobody's going to bring it down. So, it's a great loss for that kind of character and that kind of integrity and that kind of courage. The man had a lot of courage. I remember, he wouldn't mince his words as well, when he wants to say, and that's another quality I want to just, it is a Quranic verse also that we have people give a straight talk, Qawlan sadida. You must speak the truth and speak a straight word. Don't beat about the bush and don't, say what you want to say. And that was Essam Mudir. But I think because of that, Chef, he gained a lot of enemies, and that's part of the package. He would have gained a lot of enemies, which he did. And all we can say is, he underwent a difficult phase in his life with the clamp down of the Saudi regime. And he was one of them who, unfortunately, he was targeted as a threat to them. But therefore, I would say he died a mujahid. Allah, he died a shaheed, that Allah grant him the highest abode in Jannah, inshallah.
Ameen, Summa Ameen. And I'm grateful, Rafeek, both you and I, we embraced him and celebrated him in his living years. And I have interviewed him many times. And alhamdulillah, I can still hear him. You remember the last time he sent us a voice note, both for you and I. And we know that's a secret between you and I, Rafeek. But looking at your correspondence that has come in, it says, Sirius FM, Mr. Shafat Ahmad Khan, please ask Dr. Rafeek, America may have a Hindu president. News report in India confirms that movements of Hindus hate and want to annihilate Muslims. Yet this guy standing for presidency in America really seems to be a good choice. He's showing a preference for old-fashioned values and care for the people. Is it safe to vote for him? Kader Mustafa Wahed, Orange County, California, USA. Rafeek, how do you answer Kader Mustafa? I mean, I've got a lot of answers for him, but I'm leaving it to you, Rafeek. Bismillah.
I think it's okay. Can you hear me, Chef?
Yeah, loud and clear, Rafeek. How do you respond to Kader
Okay,
Mustafa
right. No,
Wahed?
because of look. Oh yeah, okay. Now look, let me. I have a few points on that. Firstly, look, people say things are not possible, but look who's the Prime Minister of UK right now, right? A Hindu man. So what this is showing us, and who is the. By the way, who is the Deputy President of America, the Vice President of America? You know, this lady has got, India and Hindu background as well within herself. So the world is changing. The West is changing, Brother Shafat. So all I can say is that, all these years the East was colonized. What I'm talking about is the Middle East, and the South was colonized by the Western, colonial powers. But it seems as if, the chickens are coming home to roost. You'll see a lot of people in London, so many mayors are, the mayors of London are Muslims, are not Londoners, not British people. And I mean, there are even one or two places in America where the Muslims are the majority in that town, and things like that. And so the Hindus are exerting themselves as well, in the whole diaspora there in the USA. And the only thing is we cannot paint all of them with the same brush, So this is my second point. It doesn't mean, but if person may be a Hindu, so is necessarily, RSS supporter, BJP supporter, or a bad guy. I think we got to, and then when it's politicking time, everybody says the right things, to win votes. So I never judge a politician by what they're saying during campaigning, because if you want to catch a fish, Brother Shafat, you have to use the bait the fish likes, not the bait you like. So politicians have learned this big lesson. When we are campaigning for votes, we got to say what the public likes, and we got to dance to what they bend it to their wishes and whims just to catch their vote. And thereafter, we throw them away and do what we really wanted to do. So I think, although from what we are picking up, some people doing research on this man, that there are certain, as with many politicians, there are certain things in the closet that's not looking too good. But I'm saying, it's not an impossibility. So we're not going to say it will never happen. In America right now, which is falling and collapsing, anything is possible. Even Americans and Westerners themselves are turning their back on Western hegemony. Even Westerners themselves have caught up with the colonial, leaders who now they see the effects of what they were doing in the world. I mean, the largest anti-war marches you'll get today, is in the West, by the Western people opposing their own governments who were going around killing and bombing, the poorer and weaker nations. So, what I can say is that it's all going to be depending on which, what the voters want right now. But I want to end up by saying, Brother Safar, I want to end up by saying, no matter what he's bending about the voters and how to butter them and win them, and no matter what may be his personal views, at the end of the day, American politics and most politics works this way. If you do not toe the line with the man who pays you the bill, out you go through the window. So at the end of the day, the lobbies, there are strong lobbies, the Zionist lobby, the right-wing lobby, the Democrats who have the left-wing lobbies, and you have these very powerful lobbies that are, controlling the money chain with the politicians. If you don't dance to their views at the end of the day, when it comes to the crunch, you are summarily dismissed. no matter how many votes you got. You can see what they're doing to the past president, Donald Trump. I mean, a president of a country now wanting to be put into jail because he's going against the system. He's going against those people who want you, my way or the highway, who controlling the politicians. And he caught them out and he wants to oppose them, and you can see where it's landing him. So any would-be president of America has to learn that number one lesson. At the end of the day, I got to dance to the tune of the masters who pay me the dollars.
Well, who control and patrol the American Congress is the American Israeli Press Affairs Committee, and Rafeek hits the nail on the head. They will decide. And this, brother of Hindu descent, actually he's of the Tamilian descent from South India.
Yes.
And what they say, I mean, his role model is none other than Richard Nixon, who bombed Vietnam, who, ushered in the petrodollars with his shuttle diplomat, Henry Kissinger. And if he said, I even played the piano, which Richard Nixon played.
Yes.
So if Richard Nixon is his hero and his role model, then woe betides, Rafeek.
Yeah, well, look, you know very well what we called the military complex, the military complex machinery who is running America, right? You have to be banded to the tune. When I said the dollars, these are the people who are supplying the dollars, and how they do it because of the military complex, organization that they're running. That's what it is. America is the people who are controlling the world. People, the other name from them is I would call them the military moguls, right? Who control all the arms and ammunition industry in the world. And so, it's interesting what you're saying, about, whichever president you're going to follow. You know why Trump is so unpopular, Chef? One of the reasons Trump is so unpopular is he says, I can stop the war tomorrow in Ukraine. I can stop the war tomorrow in Syria and in the Middle East. And they don't want that. The military industrial complex does not want to stop any war. Then how are they going to make money? For them to make the money, the wars must carry on. So, when he's choosing his, his role model, you rightfully say corruption must know the Nixon gate. Also, don't forget that. So, I mean, American politics, you either toe the line or you go home.
You can talk to Malik Al-Shabazz, Rahimullah, about that story. Rafeek, your parting words this morning?
Yeah, well, Safat, again, we all we can say is lots of things happening globally and locally in the world. Things are moving very fast. And you and, your brother Yusuf Asmal and your team at Sirius FM trying to keep everyone abreast. Allah reward you all. We are in very challenging times. Very interesting times and very positive and hopeful time for Muslims also. Within the House of Islam, a lot of, changes taking place. And I think we are in for, unless you're not abreast with things, you'll be caught on the wrong side of history. May Allah protect us and guide us and make us make the right decisions.
I mean, Rafeek, du'as are reciprocal. You also add value to the platforms here on Sirius FM and wherever you are. Have a mashallah beautiful day ahead. Talk to you soon. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Time for us to go for a break. When you get back, you will be joined by Abu Bakr Sidat on the segment Muslim News.